Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing the 2025 Mercedes GLA. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Mercedes-Benz of Draper, Utah for giving me some time with this GLA. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions, just ask for Gareth. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood we have a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed dual clutch. Fuel economy is 25 around town and then 33 on the highway, with power outputs being 221 horsepower and then 258 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Starting with the hood, you can see the Mercedes-Benz logo front and center, and then popping down below, really cool style here for the headlights, and I'll pop on the turn signal indicator for you guys so you can kind of see that whole setup. And this is cool with the darker trim down below, and then look at the grille here, the Mercedes logo, and then you can see all the little kind of like chrome dots throughout. And putting it all together, it's a good looking crossover. Now on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 235 by 50 by 19 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels, you've got the silver mixed with the blacked out trim. You got the Mercedes-Benz logo front and center as well. Love this here with the body painted fender flare. You can see the rest of the trim here at the bottom is darker, blacked out mirror caps, blacked out window trim, but then there's some chrome on top of the door handles, interestingly enough. Here's the side profile. And this leads us to the key fob. We've got the Mercedes logo lock and unlock. We got the opening here for the hatch, and let's pop it open. Now we've got a cargo cover built in from the factory. That's obviously going to be a benefit to keeping things cooler and out of sight, right? But in terms of space, I mean, again, it's a smaller sized crossover, so it's not massive. I'm trying to think of a size comparison. It's like a bit bigger than a Subaru Crosstrek in terms of the spacing back here. So maybe, I wouldn't say quite Subaru Forester, but I don't know. Anyways, when you're all done, press that and that'll lower the hatch right back down. Taking a look at the taillights, really cool design there. 4MATIC on the one side, you can see GLA 250. I don't know where I got 450 from. And there's the rest of the rear. Now taking a look at the door panel, we got this red stitching here at the top, and I like this trim down below. More of that red stitching. Kind of like a fancy finish on everything, if you ask me. And then here are the seats. Again, nice finish with the trim. Got more of that red stitching. Now legroom back here is solid. Got a little storage pocket, some vents here in the rear, and when it comes to room, it's actually pretty good back here. And then you notice we do have our own separate sunroof for the rear passengers as well. Now taking a look at the door panel up front, you can see again with the red stitching and then all of the trim down below and then more of that red stitching at the bottom. All of our window controls here, got our mirror adjustments. The mirrors do power fold in. Carbon fiber here, we've got heated seats, memory seats as well. Got all seat adjustments, blind spot monitoring. And then here's the front seat. Got a nice trim all down the center. Then you've got your adjustments on the side for the lumbar support. Nice soft touch trim here on the dash. Vent looks pretty cool as well. And then all of your light controls are just right there. And they make the pedals look a little bit fancier. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see nice perforated trim on either side to get a better grip. And then you got more red stitching on the center. Paddle shifters on the back for that 8-speed. And then we've got a bunch of controls on the front. It can be kind of confusing at first, but this is like your volume and voice command control area, phone controls as well. This is for the infotainment system. This is for the center gauge cluster. And then this is for the adaptive cruise control. And then we've got a couple stalks in the back, windshield wiper, turn signal on one side, and then Mercedes still uses column shifters. Now with this center cluster, coolest feature is the fact that you can change what it looks like, basically, and then also just what information you see. So it's kind of like a fun little feature with that. Now you've got just a regular backup camera in reverse, really good resolution. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, quick response time with this, and again you can control it with the steering wheel if you so desire. Got more of that like carbon fiber trim there. And it's gonna be hard to see because it's such a bright day today. But we do have some like ambient lighting with the vents. And then if you're ordering the passenger, it still has memory seats and heated seats and all of that, just like the driver. Dual zone climate controls down below. So you got a little USB port there, a couple cup holders, It's for your dynamic drive mode, volume control here, camera system, and you got some storage right there. I like this trim on the side. Center console, pretty solid. Nice trim on the top, got the stitching and all of that. And then we do have the sunroof up front. It's not quite a panoramic because you got like, it's big, but you got this, and then again you got that one in the back. Now here's a quick look at the window sticker. Again, GLA 250. Total MSRP on this is $53,895. And let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors do have blind spot monitoring throughout the rest of the rear. And let us set off in the GLA. So this is an interesting car because it's kind of I know the Subaru Crosstrek comparison might not be wanted with the Mercedes, but I think it is a good comparison, not in terms of performance or interior or exterior looks or anything, but in terms of theme. So Subaru has the Impreza, and then they've got the Crosstrek, right? Pretty much the same vehicle. One is lifted and one is a hatchback or a sedan. So with this, you've got the A-Class and then you've got the GLA. And you can get an A-Class overseas, never on the US market, but you could get one that was a hatchback. So this is kind of a similar situation where the regular A-Class is kind of like the regular car hatchback, whereas this is the lifted hatchback, right? So it's a crossover technically, but kind of a similar setup, right? Now, seats are comfortable, so that's always a plus. Every single time I get into Mercedes, I always forget the adjustments for the seats are on the door panel. I always forget. I should know better at this point, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, it rides well, and pretty well insulated interior too, and nice finish. You know, because you get some of the nicer switchgear, excuse me, for the more expensive cars in the entry-level cars, it makes the entry-level cars feel a lot more premium than they might otherwise feel. Let's get on it a little bit here. Yeah, dual clutch is pretty quick. I do prefer Mercedes 9-speed. I think that transmission's just, it's so smooth and it's so quick. This is a good transmission, but I think I prefer Mercedes 9-speed they have over this 8-speed personally. Yeah, I mean, it drives well. It's a fun car. Obviously, the most exciting format of this is the 45 AMG. But even this entry-level variant, I mean, it handles well. It's got a nice interior. And again, this is like the entry-level into Mercedes in a way. It's like, you know, not everyone wants a sedan because you do have the C-Class, which is also kind of like an entry into Mercedes. So what this is, yep, I want the SUV practicality, and I want a Mercedes, but, you know, I don't want to spend $80,000, $100,000, $120,000 for a Mercedes SUV. And so that's where this comes in, where you can still get the Mercedes quality and, you know, driving dynamics and all of that, but it's, you know, not gonna break the bank so much. So let me know what you guys think about the GLA 250.